Have you ever wondered what makes Argentina so unique? Sure, you've heard of Tango, Lionel Messi, and maybe even the iconic Perito Moreno Glacier. But this South American gem is so much more than its famous landmarks. Argentina is a country bursting with vibrant traditions, passionate people, and jaw-dropping landscapes that stretch from sun-soaked vineyards to icy glaciers. It's a place where the scent of grilled beef fills the air, where football isn't just a sport, but a way of life, and where every street corner tells a story of history, culture, and resilience. But there's more to Argentina than meets the eye. Unusual customs, quirky habits, and fascinating local traditions that make it truly one of a kind. From the soothing ritual of sipping mate to the grand celebrations of a 15-year-old's coming of age, this country is a kaleidoscope of emotions and experiences. So join us as we dive into the heart of Argentina, exploring its rich culture, surprising traditions, and the everyday lives of its warm, welcoming people. Whether you're planning a trip or just dreaming of one, this video will reveal the Argentina you've never known. According to unofficial statistics, Argentina is considered the country with the largest number of psychologists per capita in the world. Almost every resident of this country goes to a psychologist, and for years and most often since school, where there are also specialists. The fact is that Argentines are very emotional and get nervous over little things. If you scratched your car or your favorite football team lost, you need to go to a psychologist. In this country, people pay great attention to their appearance, so plastic surgery is very popular here. It is estimated that 1 in 30 Argentines has gone under the surgeon's knife at least once in their life. At one point, the country's authorities even had to discuss a bill to ban plastic surgery for minors due to the growing popularity of the operations among teenagers. According to doctors, patients most often want to enlarge their breasts, get rid of cellulite with liposuction, and correct their nose. Argentine surgeons are considered some of the most experienced in the world, which is why medical tourism is very common here today. Argentines have their own version of Manana, tomorrow in Spanish. They like to promise but not deliver. As a rule, they don't say the word no at all. Instead, they say later, yes, definitely, somehow, definitely. The main thing to remember is that all of these mean never. It's also normal for locals to be late or not show up at all for a meeting. This is not considered a sign of disrespect. They just live at a different pace. And you can't send an Argentine a message that you are already there. It's not polite. Waiting for any specialist for several weeks is normal. In Argentina, as in other countries of South and Latin America, there is a custom. When a girl turns 15, it is celebrated on a grand scale. A luxurious dress, a restaurant, a large number of guests. This age is considered the transition from childhood to adulthood. Money for the celebration begins to be saved from the very birth. In order not to delve into all sorts of bureaucratic things and legal intricacies, Argentines hire a special person called a jester. This is something between a lawyer, an expert, and a manager. A jester knows all the loopholes and pitfalls in the legislation and can solve almost any problem. People under 35 are considered to be almost teenagers. Many live off their parents and, as they say, are searching for themselves, sincerely believing that they still have everything ahead of them. In principle, they are not particularly mistaken, because in Argentina, there is no old age at all. In Buenos Aires, it is common to retire and start learning the language or acting in amateur theater, dancing or painting. It is not customary to say, well, at my age, where can I go? It seems that for Argentines, age is a convention. Since Argentines are in no hurry, they get married quite late and date for 5 to 7 years before the wedding. Also, many are in no hurry to get married because it is very difficult to get divorced here. This procedure is complicated to the maximum. Often, a divorce costs more than a wedding because of a special procedure that helps determine what part of the family budget was acquired jointly. and what each of the spouses is entitled to after the divorce. That's why many couples don't get married right away, but first sign a special agreement, something like a civil partnership contract. However, after 3 years, such an agreement is considered equal to marriage. Argentines love children very much, both their own and others. By the way, as a rule, fathers take an active part in the lives of their children. It is not so easy for a young family to rent an apartment. You need to have a guarantor who has his own property in this city. If the tenants are unable to pay the rent, the guarantor's property acts as collateral. Plus, every 6 months, the rent increases by 15%. This happens due to constant inflation. Education here is free and compulsory from 6 to 14 years old. Then you can either go to work or go to university, and you won't have to pay for tuition. In general, the system is built in such a way that it is extremely easy to get into college, but difficult to study. Everyone who submits documents is enrolled here, and then everything depends on you. Moreover, since there is no mandatory military conscription in the country, it is normal for Argentines to apply to different universities 6 or 7 times in order to find their true calling. Medicine is also absolutely free, even for tourists. That is, in principle, insurance is not needed in Argentina. However, unless it is an emergency, you will have to wait quite a long time to see a doctor. For this reason, many women prefer to give birth in private clinics. In state clinics, only a midwife will be present at the birth, not a doctor. Maternity leave lasts only 3 months, so children are sent to kindergartens early, sometimes even at the age of 45 days. By the way, if a child is born on the territory of Argentina, he or she immediately receives citizenship, and the parents receive a permanent residence permit until the child turns 18. That is why many people go to give birth in Argentina. The passport of this country allows you to visit 170 countries of the world without a visa. Free medicine and education here became possible because Argentina does not spend huge amounts of money on the army and the military-industrial complex. Spending on the armed forces from the state budget is less than 1%. The profession of a dog walker is popular here. Buenos Aires is a city of dog lovers, and many hire special people to walk their pets. As a rule, walkers work with the same dogs for several years, so the owners trust them and make duplicate keys. The salary is about $200 per month. Despite the fact that it is not written down by law, everyone cleans up after their pets. And many also note that they have not met homeless animals on the streets of Buenos Aires. Apparently, it is all due to the good work of local shelters. Buenos Aires is divided into districts, and your safety depends directly on which part of the city you are in. In a wealthy district, almost every residential building will have security and cameras on the corners. Therefore, when walking around the city, it is best not to stand out from the crowd, not to wave your phone, and not to show off expensive jewelry. There are many ficus trees growing in the city. When a tree turns 200 years old, it is given a name and fenced in. For example, this tree is called Homer. Buenos Aires residents save money not only for an apartment or a house, but also for a family crypt. Moreover, the cost of a tomb in a prestigious area will often be higher than the price of an apartment of similar footage. There are even special realtors who deal only with this type of real estate. Once in the supermarket, you may be surprised by the rather meager selection of products, especially fruits and vegetables. The thing is that it is better to buy products at the markets. There you will find fish, meat, and ripe vegetables with fruits, and they will cost 2 times less than in the store. Many shops and bakeries in Argentina put out free products for those in need. Just before closing, sellers hang bags of bread, buns, or vegetables that they couldn't sell on their doors. There are not many popular brands in this country. For example, there is still no IKEA, and the H&M store opened only last year, but in a rather peculiar format. You can't find clothes from the latest collections there, and the minimum cost of goods is limited to 500 pesos, about $12. And only women's clothing is sold there. The main pride of Argentines is meat, especially beef. By and large, their entire national cuisine is grilled meat with various additives. Someone accurately noted that all of Argentina smells of fried meat. Despite the fact that there are a lot of cows here, the situation with fermented milk products is not very good. You will not find the usual sour cream, cottage cheese, kefir, and the choice of cheese is not very rich. Since ancient times, once a month, on the 29th, the inhabitants of this country eat gnocchi, dumplings made from potatoes, flour, and salt. The fact is that by the end of the month, money was usually little left, so people could only afford this simple and cheap food. Argentines have a custom to attract financial luck in the coming month. You need to put a coin under your plate of gnocchi. Argentina also has delicious traditional sweets. The most popular dessert is considered to be shortbread cookies called alfajores, with a filling inside. But coffee will seem too bitter and burnt to the taste of a European. At the same time, Argentines themselves prefer to drink mate, a special drink made from dried leaves of the Paraguayan holly. You might think that all locals know how to dance tango, but this is not true. Real Argentine tango is mostly remembered only by the older generation and professional dancers. Of course, football plays a huge role in the lives of Argentines. It is impossible to imagine a guy who would not go to the stadium or who could not play this game. The captain of the Argentina national team, Lionel Messi, is especially loved. He is called a miracle given by God. Besides football, this country has another national sport that is virtually unknown in the world. It is a game called Pato, which combines elements of basketball and polo. In fact, the word Pato means duck in Spanish, so initially, starting in 1610, players used a duck instead of a ball. Of course, this barbarity later stopped. The use of ducks has long been strictly prohibited. As for travel, Argentines mostly travel within their own country or to neighboring countries, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay. But Argentina itself has a lot to offer. One of the most famous attractions is the Perito Moreno Glacier, located in the Los Glaciares National Park. This glacier is the third largest reserve of fresh water in the world. By the way, Argentina has very comfortable intercity buses. The ticket price includes food, dessert, and various drinks, and during the trip you can sit in a comfortable chair and watch a movie on the built-in screen. In general, Argentina is a great country, where there is a lot of sun and warmth, and where smiling locals will always be happy to see you. As we've journeyed through the wonders of Argentina, from its breathtaking landscapes to its rich traditions and passionate people, one thing is clear: this country is unlike any other. Whether it's the mesmerizing dance of tango, the smoky aroma of asado, or the heartwarming hospitality of its people, Argentina leaves an impression that stays with you forever. There's so much more to discover, and this is just the beginning. So, if you've enjoyed this adventure through the vibrant streets and stunning vistas of Argentina, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you more incredible stories from around the globe. Drop us a comment about what fascinated you the most or what you'd love to see in Argentina. And don't forget to share this video with your fellow travel enthusiasts. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next adventure. Hasta luego.